Hey there, everybody, Lost Galaxy. It's been a while, I know, but with the new Chaotix Files podcast dropping, I want to talk about it because it was great. Don't get me wrong, it was amazing, but I want to talk about the lore bits that were scattered throughout because they were very interesting to say the least. I'm making it sound like it's horrible. It's not, but first of all, again, it was incredible. Loved it. It feels like it should have been like an animated series though. That's one of my gripes because there's so much like world put into it, and I can only listen to it, and I want to see it. That I want to see all of this. But regardless, it was amazing. The voice acting, especially. Oh man, love every single one of them. And I don't know if Knuckles has the same VA or not, but he sounds great. Especially, I guess, like the voice direction, if that makes sense. Music and aesthetic as well. Those are perfect. I love it so much, and it just makes sense. But y'all have watched it, I'm sure. Y'all know. But now, for one, I want to get into Station Square. Station Square is almost the main locale for this, where they're going to the museum and stuff like that, to obviously help with the robbery of said little relic. I'm not gonna go into that just yet, but apparently, which is wild to me, Gun is struggling to barely keep it together, as Vector puts it. I don't know. I don't understand what that means. Are they like, is the military about it? Like, is it losing funding, or is it like struggling internally? You know what I mean? It was so vague, but it was something very important, and it could be akin to the fact that we haven't really seen much of, well, we have recently, of course, because of the Shadow movie, and especially Sonic X Shadow Generations. But that also, technically, when we saw Gun and stuff like that, was in the past, because with Sonic Generations placement in the timeline, it was technically a couple years ago, before Frontiers, or somewhere around that. I'm not gonna get too nitpicky into that. I know this is a lore video, but like, you know what I mean. I'm just gonna stop. But that's a very interesting detail for Vector to bring up. Now, this is just a nice little thing that I like to hear, is mentioning that Knuckles was a Chaotix, and later on Knuckles, of course, acknowledging he was a part of the Chaotix. It's not that it's something new, but I love that they mention it. I know that, like, oh, it's the Ian Flynn writing. I don't care. As a longtime Sonic fan, that is music to my ears. I love stuff like that. I love callbacks, knowing that there's some sort of continuity to the series. It's very nice. Now, this is a funny one. Apparently horses are just horses in this, because Charmy's sitting here like, oh, we're gonna get to ride horses? And it's like, you're all animals though. Are you telling me horses are just horses? That doesn't that doesn't seem right. Like, next thing you tell me there's hedgehogs that are just hedgehogs. It's such a weird thing though. Like, everything else is an anthropomorphic animal, but the horses are just horses. It's, again, no biggie. It's reading into it too much, but it's still a little weird. Also, one more thing I wanted to just when it comes to like the characters and stuff like that. I know this is all over the place. I just listed a bunch of stuff, and I'm just spitballing here with the stuff I have on my list here. Charmy's annoying, but a good kind of annoying, if that makes sense. As like, I'm sure those who have played what is it, Shadow the Hedgehog, you know that Charmy's just annoying, and especially you also have Sonic Generations where like it was ear grating, to say the least. no diss to the voice actor or anything, but like, listening to Charmy, I wanted to throw a brick at myself. But in this one, it's weird because like, he's still annoying, but it's a good kind of annoying. Like, it's funny and charming, and I think that's a very good thing for Charmy, because a lot of people don't really like him because he's annoying. But here, I think they found a good balance between, obviously, the naivety of being a child and stuff like that, and being annoying, but there's a good balance of it here, to the point where it's like, every time I hear him or see him on screen, I'm not going, ugh, you know what I mean? So that was handled very, very well. And my favorite bit was the Chaotix chapter. the Chaotix chopper, and it only makes sense that Vector does not have a pilot's license. It just makes sense. But now back to more of the lore bits. For one, Knuckles apparently does not remember being a part of the Chaotix, which is interesting. I don't know if that's played for the fact that Knuckles is just, he's not dumb, he's not Boom Knuckles, but he's gullible. But that doesn't, I don't know, it's a weird detail to me that he wouldn't remember, mentioning taking down Metal Sonic and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's intentional, or he's just like doesn't really give a shit. But now for the one of the main parts that I want to talk about, Seaside City is a brand new location, and I only want to bring it up because not only have we not heard of it, we haven't seen it. Obviously it's on Seaside Hill. I don't know where you're gonna put it, because I assumed that Seaside Hill was just, a city, or not a city, just like, you know what I mean, like Green Hill. It's just part of the natural world and stuff like that. But I guess there are structures. It's got to be done by someone, and maybe I don't know the lore behind it. I haven't played through Sonic Heroes, so maybe I don't know. But I still think it's a very interesting point to bring up, because it is not something we know, and it's also the location of the Chaotix agency. So maybe we'll get to see that at some point. As far as I know, we've only seen the inside of it, not like actually where it's placed. And I know we probably won't ever see it, considering that is a whole another thing to tackle, with adding, like, making it a definitive world where all of this fits, because we have not only the Sonic Unleashed world where, it's just the real world, and then of course we have like the Forces world where everything is laid out, and then North Star Islands and all of that. It's mumbo jumbo, and it's just too much to like really make a cohesive world. And plus, obviously, for gameplay purposes, it's got to keep growing. So I understand that. It's just, that was a nice little bit that I like to know, that like we have a definitive place for it. And now to the main stuff that, like, whoa. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about Professor Tori. We have been waiting to see her for a long time, and I know we did see her in the Tails Tube stuff, which was great, but this one is really, it seems like it's going to dive more into it, but this was more of a look into the character, more than just like an introduction of it. And she's a professor from the Spagonia University, which is very interesting to me. I don't know if Professor Pickle's the same way. I do not remember, but I'm pretty sure they're acquaintances. Again, if I'm wrong, you can let me know. And she does know about this relic, which was, man, I really don't remember. It was the optic lenses or something like that from the Gaian period, which is another lore thing that they're trying to stay consistent to, and actually the most ancient thing we know about, which is kind of crazy. Like, we're getting a lot of, I don't want to say nothing, but we're getting a lot of Unleashed stuff here. Like, this is crazy. And another thing, we now know our time period, which by that I mean we're going through what is known as civilizations. So apparently this Gaian stuff took place, like, the Gaian race and stuff like that was during the second civilization. So there's actually one before it that we don't know, because the Gaian period was the most recently documented stuff. So there's something way before that, unless I'm wrong. But around the Sonic timeline, I don't think so. And then we are currently in the fifth one. So I'm gonna assume it goes Gaians, Ancients, maybe you can erase, but that, and then current day, but that would make no sense since Knuckles is like, I don't know. I'm spitballing here. I think definitively the second civilization, of course, is the Gaian period, and then the third one is, of course, Ancients, because we know came over, they did their whole thing, became Chows. So I think we got those set for sure. Everything else besides the fifth one, of course, that we know is the present day. Everything else we don't know, and I like that. I really like that we got our set time period. It's really nice. That does leave me with the question of, is Silver the Hedgehog perhaps in the 6th civilization, maybe even 7th? I don't remember the exact amount of time that he's in the future, but we can definitely assume he is in a different civilization. Or maybe the current one. I have no clue. And also, it might not even be that long, because civilization seems to span maybe thousands of years or hundreds of years. We don't really know. And then the relic itself. It is said it is a part of a set of lenses that are used to enhance power. Now, we are only on episode 1, so obviously we're going to get more details and stuff about this. So we don't really know, too much of it, just that it's part of a set and that it's used to enhance power. Now, of course, we got to keep seeing the series, because someone's out there trying to get these. You know what? It's not Eggman. It's somebody else, because clearly this is just a story being told. So who knows? And then I did write the point that Rouge was stealing these relics for some reason, because that's who they're alluding to. But then I was like, wait, she's a treasure hunter. Yeah, it would make sense if it was her, but I don't think it is her, or at least not like the main culprit. But to end this off, I know I'm just kind of like spitballing a bunch of stuff again. I don't have anything written. I just wanted to talk about it. We are in a very unleashed period of the Sonic series, because we also have, not only do we have this that is very unleashed focused with the Gaian relics, stuff like that. Of course, talking about Professor Tori. She's from the Spagonian University. So, but I mean stuff like Sonic Speed Simulator as well, where they brought back Cool Edge and stuff like that. A lot of, Unleashed stuff. Does it mean we're getting something Unleashed related? No, don't think so. We still could, not saying that's out of the cards here, but I want to say that we definitely are going to get something Unleashed. I don't know if it's going to be Unleashed Remastered, because I don't think they really want to touch those anymore, if I'm being so real. Especially considering how Sonic Colors Ultimate went. I don't think they want to do a Sonic Unleashed Ultimate. And honestly, I don't know if I want them to, considering how it went last time. If it's done eternally, maybe, but honestly, we need to stick to Sonic Frontiers 2 and or maybe a remake, because we don't have any remakes. And there's so many games that could benefit from that. I think would be something nice that we could have. Okay, I'm losing the plot now, but these were just a bunch of lore tidbits that I find so fascinating, and I'm very grateful that we're getting stuff like this. I know Ian Flynn, I'm assuming he's the one behind this, I'm not sure, but keeping the lore together is something that I love. It's just, I love the continuity of it. Being a long-term Sonic fan, I have literally ate, slept, and breathed this series since I was a child. So it's just very nice, and stuff that I just noticed that could lead to a lot more world building and a lot more info on Unleashed. Well, I guess the Gaian period, since we know that the whole earth shattering has happened multiple times, but really that's all we know. We don't know exactly how the Gaians were, what exactly transpired and stuff like that, unlike stuff like with the Ancients recently, where we know that they migrated to Earth, trying to make it their new home, the creation of cyberspace, and them eventually converting or transforming into Chows. So I think maybe that's where we're heading towards, is maybe a little more established lore for the Gaian period, and I want more of that. That's amazing stuff. But if there's anything I left out or anything that I need to be corrected over, because I don't know all the lore. I'd like to think I know a lot of it, but I haven't kept up with the comics and stuff like that, so maybe there's stuff in there, or maybe there's stuff I missed. Again, there's a lot, so I could very easily be forgetting it, but if you watch this video to the end, thank you very much. And with that being said, again, let me know if there's anything I'm missing, or any other or any corrections. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.